All right, we are now live. I'm David Lindruth, and I'm going to be pulling Howard Thompson in here. We are testing what we're going to do, which is a live stream in about a week. And Howard is going to be sharing with us how he makes his spiritual shorts, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it is quite a bit of lag there. It's coming through on the YouTube about 12 seconds after I start talking, which is freaky. It's gonna it's gonna drive Heath bananas. All right, so I'm gonna start by bringing you in then. Howard, are you there?
Hello, Dave. I am here. Hello, Dave.
Oh yes, we got a good strong feed here, and we have one viewer so far, and I'm pretty sure that viewer is
That's
sitting right
Heath.
next to me. Oh, he went away. He must have axed out. Oh,
Heath.
maybe. All right. So we'll be able to introduce you. Maybe I'll have to introduce myself a little bit, get right into the content, which, yes, as I said before, let's shoot for an hour. All right.
Okay.
And then we
Yep.
can upload it afterwards so that people who are not able to watch it will be able to watch it later. I know people like Kuro Ebut Meta in Nigeria is really going to watch this thing. And there's going to be other people as well.
Okay.
He says running away. Why
Um,
don't we go back? Go ahead.
yeah. If you could just give me uh, a an idea of who, not the individuals, but who are you expecting to be on this? Who am I talking to? It's useful to know.
I'm going to send out an invitation to um, board members interested in outreach and the whole council of the clergy, unless you want me to leave a few people off the list. No, I'm just kidding. We are live. um, and then I might, I don't know. I'm not going to promote it, I guess, beyond that.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so it's a limited audience, and it's only going to
Okay.
be people that are interested in this kind of format.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I guess I would expect maybe 5 people or maybe 5 to 10 people tuning in during the live presentation. People will tune in later as well. But it
Yeah.
does give them the opportunity to ask questions, and we can field the questions. That's one of the great things about having Heath here, is he can monitor what's going on in the chat. Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I can pull up the chat here, and I see Heath saying hello, which is pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, I learned I learned
Howard,
in a couple of yeah.
hang on a sec. I'm gonna turn you down a little bit here.
Okay.
Um, how's that? Go ahead, Howard. Say some stuff.
Oh, um, the one thing that I learned in the couple of live events that I've done is I don't want to see the chat. It's too distracting.
Yeah,
it so to have Heath there, and if there is a question, and he says, "Oh boy, this looks like a really good question." Hey, Howard, here's a question, somebody put up. I'm happy to answer that, but I can't monitor this sidebar chat that's going on while I'm trying to talk, or even if I'm not talking, it's a panel discussion. I'm trying to listen to the other person and do the
right.
chat. I can't do that.
I
So,
totally get it. I'm a little worried about overwhelm here myself, but um, Heath is gonna watch the chat, and I could have the chat rolling through the video if I wanted to, but I don't know how to do that yet. Um,
yeah,
and I'm not really going to worry about it.
cool. We're
Um,
all learning.
yeah, so let's go to this scene with the video again. And Do you have a mute button that you have control of, Howard?
I
Um,
do, yes. And like I said, when you mute me, my mute button goes into a shadow mode, so I
okay.
know that you've muted me, and I can't do anything about that.
So when I pull this up, it probably would be helpful if you just muted yourself. Then it's one less thing for me to worry about. Okay. So when I
Yeah.
start talking,
Yep.
let's pull up your YouTube video, one of your shorts. We're going to do that right now. And I'm going to start off by muting my little butt. There we go. And
On the surface, both of these parables, they appear to reward what seems undeserving, leaving us to question, is God himself unfair?
I'm unmuting myself because I want to ask you how you feel about seeing yourself in video form.
Oh, I spend hours editing myself, so
Uh,
I'm pretty
Are you
used to
used to
seeing
it?
it at this point. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm
how was
pretty
that
used
when
to
you
it
were
now.
starting?
Awkward. I hated my voice. I still do. I mean, and I think for whatever reason, most people hate to hear their voice because their voice actually doesn't sound like it sounds to yourself when you're speaking. And you're like,
That's
oh, that's
right.
weird. Yeah. But
Yeah, you don't
I'm
have
I'm
all
o-
that
I'm final.
resonance.
I'm finally over it. Yeah, a couple of months ago, I went back and I watched some of my very first shorts, and all I'm going to start. I'm going to start recycling messages
Hmm.
and take down the old one and
Hmm.
redo it. I was very I wasn't there was nothing smooth about it. I was very stiff. Not that I'm much less stiff now, but I'm much more comfortable in front of the camera than I used to be.
It's amazing how much you learn. I can remember watching the early episodes of the Dr. Oz show where this guy I knew was doing this thing, and I thought, wow, he looks really uncomfortable. And then
Yeah,
after a couple of years, and he's doing Emmys, he's like totally comfortable, and he really is looking good. So
yeah,
um,
yeah.
it's a testimony. Um, all right, let's listen to a little more of this.
Is divine justice indifferent to effort? It's natural to wrestle with these questions, and indeed, many people have difficulty with both of these teachings. But maybe these parables are inviting us to look deeper, to question our assumptions about justice, about fairness, and the nature of God's generosity. On the surface, both of these parables, they appear to reward what seems undeserving, leaving us to question, is God himself unfair? Is divine justice indifferent to effort? It's natural to wrestle with these questions, and indeed, many people have difficulty with both of these teachings. But maybe these parables are inviting us to look deeper, to question our assumptions about justice, about fairness, and the nature of God's generosity. On the surface, both of these parables, they appear to reward what seems undeserving, leaving us to question, is God himself unfair?
Is it in a loop, or did I say the same thing over and over again in my video?
Was not wasn't looping, was it? No. Oh, maybe you're getting something different than we were.
Okay.
I think that worked. It seemed
Okay.
to me to be
It's,
working
I mean,
flawlessly.
the sound was great. The sound was great.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I was looking at a lot of things. and maybe I'm just zoned out, but I think that it was working perfectly, actually,
Okay.
um, which is pretty cool. All right, so I can go back to guests. Oops, I added too many guests here. I have to um, go back to our guest, and I can actually, if you're just talking here, and let's say you're going to give about a 5-minute spiel, you're just really getting into describing what you're doing, then I'm
You're going in and out, Dave. Your audio is going in and out. Can't hear a word you're saying. No audio.
I was muted.
Oh.
I It's a good thing you didn't hear me because I was making a bad joke. All right. Well, Howard, I think maybe we've done enough of this. I don't know.
Okay.
Uh, that did, Heath, it did switch over to the one. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're in good shape.
All right. If I have a thought or two about a video that I would love you to show, I will get that on to you.
Okay. And I will have a number of questions, but I don't think I'm going to share the questions with you so that
Yeah.
you're not too canned. I think
Right.
the other thing would be obviously, I'm going to invite you to introduce yourself and what are you doing and why are you in Australia and some of that stuff. You
Yep.
have a little chance to talk about that in the beginning.
Yep.
So, in terms of prep, that. And then I just loved how you sort of unfolded the whole story. And feel free to get into, well, what did it feel like when you were starting? Or what are your fears? Anything like that that's
Yep.
useful. Go ahead and share it.
All right. Yeah.
So,
I'm happy to tell the story.
all
Stories
right.
that you've lived are always easier to tell. So,
Well, let me turn off this live stream. Um, I'm going to go back to me in the frame, but don't leave, okay?
okay. I'm still here.
All right. Well, anybody who happened to watch this, especially Heath in the background there, you have my thanks. So,
Now, I will say that below your picture, below your frame,